Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another workout, and today was max effort upper day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Let's get over to the training. All right, you guys see right there, I'm having to kick my leg back out on the closed grip bench with the buffalo bar. My hamstring cramped up a little bit. One of the downsides of all that extra range of motion stuff I did yesterday, plus I dragged a sled about an hour and a half before this training session started. So a little bit of hamstring cramping there. I didn't have it when I went for the next weight up, and I stopped at 302. You know what? It felt good. It was a nice, solid training max. It was above 90% right now, and I know that I'm not good for anything a lot heavier, right? My max is less than 10% more than that at the moment, with a pause with this bar while cutting. You know, and that's something that's come up too. People are like, well, what are you going to do about that? Well, what do you mean? I'll regain strength after the cut's over. Muscle memory is a hell of a thing, right? I plan on getting back past the best benching I was doing last year at 200 pounds, right? We'll be past it. We'll hit it, regain it, and then keep moving forward. So, also, some people said, where's the orc mode? Where was the Loktarogar? You know, guys, in keeping with what I'm doing with this channel, just like I took out all the reloading chat and all that stuff, it was distracting from the message. I'm trying to just be more and more serious about strength and conditioning. I don't think we need gimmicks. I don't think we need catchy stuff. Let's just stick to putting out good information, right? Stick to good information. Educating people, helping people. That's what's important. So, over to this. I went ahead and bumped these 5 pounds today. Bumped them 5 pounds over what I did last time. It's my second time doing the rep work again with this bar, trying to pause on every rep. And they were challenging for 10s. But again, perfectly reasonable. I think I can make a micro bump next time. Right? I'll bump it up 2.5 pounds. Take it up 2.5 pounds. So, I did notice I felt a lot of front delt on these though. And that's kind of the interesting thing. I felt more chest on the incline today than I did on this. I felt a ton of front delt. And I think it's just that extra little bit of range of motion at the bottom that this bar gives, you know, especially on a closed grip. But I noticed a lot of front delt. And I also took out the overhead press today because I'm like, I'm getting plenty of front delt work. Let's get a little more tricep work in. And with the way I've been doing the floor J-on presses, they still hit front delts. It's fine. It's fine. I'm frustrated with the overhead press anyways while I'm working on my shoulder mobility. You know, I feel like that needs to be improved before I can really get the most out of some of those lifts. And it's not that it's not giving me a benefit. I mean, I was overhead pressing like that before and got it pretty strong when I was close gripping 350, right? It's just the issue of I want to get the most out of every exercise, and I don't want to do stuff that's not the longest range of motion possible for stuff like a delt. Triceps, we can get away with it to some extent because I'll mix exercises. So that's something I'll discuss further into this because we do have data on that. We know that triceps don't actually require full range of motion to see amazing hypertrophy. There's been studies on it. It's one of the muscles that breaks that rule. So I do both a slight partial and then a long range of motion. And I'm going to keep working on getting a longest range of motion possible on that other one. But in the meantime, all the pressing is close grip, right? It's easier on my shoulders. It is going to be tricep dominant. Because I'm doing that, you know, delts and triceps are going to take a very, very high priority. All right, weighted chins. A little bit more progress today. Since I'm doing these from a dead hang, and this is going to be one of those people can argue all they want. That is my full range of motion. You guys watch me reach up and hang at the start. I'll pause at the bottom on some of them. I'm completely letting go. So for anyone who's curious of that, that is me actually releasing tension at the bottom and just hanging and then pulling up. But again, doing them with a fairly close grip or inside shoulder width to get the most bicep possible, to bring that range of motion up and to make it hard. And I want to get to, I've set a goal on these, and it's probably a crazy goal. I want to be able to do 10 chin-ups with 90 pounds. Now, they might not be these pretty pause at the bottom dead hang. You know, I'll take what I can get. I'll use this to build that up, though. But it's kind of a rep goal I've set on a non-big 3 lift, because strength is strength, right? We can set 10 rep max goals on supplemental lifts. I think we can. But I got 9, 9, and 9 today. So I've gotten 10 while just doing touch and go out of the bottom and maybe skipping a little bit. And I decided, you know what? I want to get these from a dead hang. I want to get the most bicep activation possible, right? Because I need more bicep. It'll help with my benching and other stuff, the support musculature. And again, one of my primary lat builders on top of it. So let's go ahead and just take that range of motion out as far as I can go. And because I've got long arms, my range of motion is pretty long. Even if some of my mobility is not the greatest in the world, I end up with a pretty damn long range of motion. So we'll work on doing what I am capable of doing, taking my joints to their fullest, go into that dead hang. And yeah, my biceps are lit from doing these from the dead hang. They're lit. I can tell they're the weak link. That's why we're doing strict curls. My biceps are a weak link here. That's why I need a second lat exercise, right? Well, we always normally need to, because I'm trying to do pulls from every angle. So I actually have a vertical pull and a horizontal pull, and then of course snatch grip high pulls, which are not a great lat exercise. They're more upper back and shoulders. All right, closed grip incline bench with this bar. It was hard at first. Well, the first time I added weight on here and tried to do it, I could only get like 8 or 9. I built up to 10 with 172. I went up to 175 today. I managed to get 10 reps. I felt like there were no reps in reserve, by the way. When I got to the last rep, each time it was a little slow, a little grindy. Paused on the 10th rep on each one, just like I did. I paused really long on the last rep on all of this pressing, right? I want to make sure that I'm pausing good on them and then exploding. But these, I felt like maybe the first set I might have had 1 rep in reserve. The second and third, I had nothing. I could tell based on my bar speed and how it felt that I probably, at least 50% chance, did not have another rep. Right? Didn't have another one. But, you know what? I felt these deep into teddies. That's one thing I can say about this version of the lift, particularly with this bar, but I mean, even with the straight bar. I get a deep chest burn, and I'm really doing this, yes, as a chest exercise, but also as a primary front delt exercise, right? Of course, tricep, because we're doing it closer grip. But what I think what's interesting today, I did notice that. And again, how we feel can be a lie. But I did notice I felt more chest on these than the other one. And again, I'm using this bar to get a little more range of motion. Like the actual closed grip bench, I might actually work more with the football bar. Just to take some stress off the shoulder, I might rotate it in. This one, though, I'm really liking this because it puts, I feel like a stupidly deep stretch on my pecs. Because, again, that range of motion and then that stretch at the bottom with just that little bit of camber in that bar. But, it's pretty comfortable on the shoulders, really. So this, I think I'm going to stick with this bar for quite a while. I think on the flat bench, I can rotate bars a little more often, just to avoid some overuse. But I'm really liking the way this bar feels there. And I didn't like it the first day. It was uncomfortable. Second and third workout with it, a lot better. All right, then we did these. I bumped these 2.5 pounds today. I added microplates. Trying to stay as strict as I can. These are going to be harder than the normal pen leg row because I use a closer grip on that. I can't with this bar. And I'm not limited by the bar hitting my chest. I'm limited by my scapula. I just explode as hard as I can until my scapula stops me at the top. So again, the idea is to add a small amount of range of motion. I have these bars, I might as well use them. So in this case, I am not limited by my equipment, right? My range of motion is not limited by the equipment. My range of motion is now limited by my scapula. So my structure determines how far up I go. That's what I want. I'm ensuring that last little bit of contraction. Again, I'm trying to maximize hypertrophy on everything. Body composition is going to be the name of the game. And I'm still obviously doing LMDE work. I'm still running conjugate. I'm just paying a lot of attention to body composition as I continue to get leaner. Me basically having the most muscle and the lowest body fat I can at any given body weight is going to be my key to being competitive, right? And keeping my joints healthy. And that's one reason I'm not worried about maximizing leverages on certain lifts, because sometimes that's costing joint inflammation. I would rather just muscle my way through it by just getting thicker. I think that's going to be my best bet. But those went pretty good. I was happy with that weight bump. They felt good. They were nice and explosive. They were hard. The last rep was hard on each one. And I did the J on floor press. Took me just a little bit to get in my groove on these. And look at where I'm at on these. As far as it took me, the first set was really crappy. By the third set, I really had my groove. All right, what was I doing on this lift when I hit that first 352 closed grip bench? What did I do the same workout? I went back and look, I had 140 pounds on the bar for this lift. This is 115. All right. I need to put another 25 pounds on there. And when I'm there, my triceps will be strong enough to close grip that again. They'll be strong enough. Now, this is still considered a partial exercise. And yes, I let my elbows come down on this because I don't care. When I kept messing with all that time in the last few months, when I quit closed grip benching to do wider grip, and I started trying to do the J-on press the way Blakely teaches it, my triceps got visibly smaller and they got weaker, especially once I went into a calorie deficit. It did not work for me. This version worked for me. It helped me get my closed grip bench to 350 plus while doing closed grip benching. It was on the list of exercises I was routinely doing. I noticed direct carryover. So you know what? I'm going to work it, and I don't care that someone else says, hey, you're not doing these correctly. I don't care. When I did it correctly, I got weaker, and when I did it this way, I got stronger. It's a supplemental lift. Deal with it, guys. And yes, it is technically slightly a partial. We're not quite getting the deep stretch, but this helps the bench lockout. This will help the top half of the bench tremendously, and this is the one thing we know that half reps actually do grow the triceps pretty dang well in hypertrophy studies. They're kind of an exception to the rule. There's good data on it, like even the floor skull crushers, which I've also used and I might mess with again, do that. But I am pairing it with a stretch exercise that works the full range of motion, and that's the idea, right? I'm pairing it with it. If I'm going to do it, I'm always going to do the other extensions afterwards. All right, snatch grip high pulls, I went up to 155 today because I realized I'm going too light. Look at that. I'm still able to get that height. I'm able to get that bar high enough. Now, I may not be able to increase it again for just a bit. I may do this same weight again next workout. I might go the 2.5. I need to see. I'm seeing this footage for the first time. I haven't looked at any of the footage for the past, maybe the last 3/4 of the exercises until I started voicing over. I just dropped them in and turned on the mic and started talking. But if these will look good here, if I'm hitting height all the way through, it's getting well above the nipple. And we're kind of seeing the first rep, I'm a little sloppy on them. After that, we're looking pretty good. And like I said, when I get heavy enough on this, if my grip, and I do feel the grip a little bit near the end, kind of possibly becoming a limit for the explosiveness, I'll start doing them in a rack, or I'll start doing them off block so I can reset the grip every few reps so that I can avoid strapping up for these. Overall, decently happy with how these looked. A little bit more weight than I'm used to. And again, I've had to build up so far while trying to get that height on it. Trying to get these up higher so that I get the entire shoulder girdle worked. Okay, still hitting that height I want, but it is barely. On this last set I'm watching, I'm barely hitting that height. So I'll debate as to how it's going to feel. Now, some people are going to go, Jason, this is coming up really late in the day. It really is. I had a bunch of stuff come up. I did the first half of the workout. Then I had a ton of client questions. Then I realized I wanted to go to the grocery store, came back, and then did the back half of the workout. So it really, really got slowed down. This workout took me way longer than it should have. So yeah, it's going to be up late today. All right, these, I realized messing with the empty bar, I'm like, I want to get a deeper range of motion, but when I do the shoulder width, like the normal close grip, I literally cannot get the bar any deeper than I've been doing. So I noticed I could get it deeper when I go a little closer. I'm inside on the smooths now. Okay. I would like a little more than I'm seeing here, and I failed on this set. I failed. That was a failed rep. I couldn't get it up. So I reduced the weight because I had been using the 85, but I'm like, I need to work on that stretch. And you know what? After even these last two sets, the way they felt, and I'm going to see how they look on here, I might reduce the weight further. I dropped down to 75. And there's going to be a point on this where, look, I'm going to push the weight hard on close grip benching. I'm going to push the weight hard on those JM floor presses. I need range of motion on these. And if I have to keep reducing weight to get that deeper stretch, I will. Now, this is a little better, but I still can't get 10 reps. With trying to get a deeper stretch, I'm unable to get to 10 reps even with this weight. It's like, come on. But I'm looking at it going, I'd like to get another couple inches deeper. Than I would like to get that bar deeper behind my head. I'd like to get it deeper because I hit failure on like rep 8 on the last set coming up. I hit failure. I'll take the weight further down. You know what? If that's what I have to do, I want to really get a deep stretch here. I want to get that range of motion. I need to bring my triceps up. They're getting one heavy partial exercise. We don't need another. I need to make sure I'm stretching that long head. So, and where some of these reps on this set, yeah, some of those are looking a little better. I think I need to take another 10 pounds off so I can get deeper on it. Got to check our ego because a lot of these movements, that's what I need to do. If we want to maximize the hypertrophy that I need to get my strength ceiling up, there's going to be a lot of this hypertrophy work. I'm going to have to trim weight to get the range of motion I want. Just like these strict curls. Same thing, I laughed. I've had a couple guys say, I don't know, it's pretty weak for a strict curl. It's like, well, you do a strict curl. I got long ass forearms too. You go put your back completely against something, neither your head or your butt can break off of it and do them. It's not the same as doing a standing curl. I can do more weight. I can curl a lot more weight than this. It's the strictness. And I'm doing full range of motion. I'm locking my elbows at the bottom and I'm bringing my shoulders up, right? We are covering the entire function of the bicep. Now, before people say, what about supination and pronation of the wrist? That doesn't cause hypertrophy. There's no tension involved, right? The extension of the shoulder at the top actually involves direct load on one of the heads of the bicep. That is part of the bicep's function. It's just that it's only one of the two heads are involved. But maybe I need to maximize that head, okay? If my biceps are limiting my chin-ups, and my chin-ups are really my main bicep builder, and these curls are here to ensure they grow, again, work on the back end of it, and a supplemental lift to bring up those chins, then I need my whole bicep to grow. Okay? I have the ability to do so with this exercise. I can take it through a full range of motion. Well, it'll help hopefully shore up any weak links in the bicep that the chin-ups aren't getting. Again, pair exercises together. Something I tell you guys a lot. Combine two exercises if you want to maximize hypertrophy. You know, we look at the lats and say, okay, so I'm doing a vertical row and a horizontal pull, right? I'm doing both. Biceps, well, we're doing a weighted chin and then we're doing a strict full range of motion curl. And again, we're inside of our optimal weekly volume ranges because I do this twice a week. And keeping in mind all the other pulling works biceps also. The rows and the high pulls work biceps, but they do not work them as effectively as these movements do. These are better. Pair exercises, again, just like we would for the chest, we're close gripping and incline benching, so on and so forth. Combine exercises. And just like I'm going to finish off now, I do the snatch grip high pulls. That's why I'm like, I don't need the overhead press at the moment. I've got incline. I'm doing snatch grip high pulls and I'm doing laterals. Snatch grip high pull plus laterals. What part of the shoulder isn't fully worked by these two combined? All three heads of the delt upper trap that are getting worked effectively. Keeping in mind we have all that rowing and pressing also that do train the delts. So, again, making sure that we're getting all the muscle fibers by adding another second very efficient exercise. So just like the curls were added on top of the chin-ups, add the laterals to go with the snatch grip high pull and keep everything inside of optimal volume. And that's the goal. Everything is being done. I'm trying to do 12 to 20 quality work sets per week, counting certain exercises as half sets. That's the goal for every muscle in my body. Some muscles get a slightly higher priority, right? Like triceps, quads, glutes. But overall, pretty happy with today's workout. Everything went as expected. Largely got what I wanted to get on all my lifts. I feel good at the end of it. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.